Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to the Popternative podcast, the podcast and talk show where we have digital discussions from the worlds of TV, film, music, pop culture, news, everything really, depending on the guest. We talk about it all. As always, I'm your host, Peter Remoliotis. On social media, you know me as PD Beats. My guest is a musician signed to Fearless Records. He is Elijah Knoll, also known as American Teeth. Elijah, welcome to Popternative, man.
Thank you. What's up?
Thank you so much for doing this. You are Elijah Knoll, but a lot of people, of course, in the streaming world that you're rocking right now, we're going to talk about that, know you as American Teeth. I mean, what a ride so far, man. Like, it's been, I bet, crazy on your end, man. Congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a roller coaster. A good one, though.
Absolutely. It's one of those roller coasters you just kind of want to get off the ride and then kind of go back on, right?
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely. When people listen to American Teeth, first thing that comes to mind, so many sounds, so many things are kind of going on. You're not kind of limiting yourself to one genre. Is it safe to say that was kind of part of the plan moving forward? I mean, why limit yourself and put yourself in a box, Elijah?
Yeah, I don't subscribe to the, putting yourself in a box ever.
Yeah.
And that's how I've always been. I've been a very multifaceted creative. So, yeah, by nature, that's how it came out.
Do you find that genres are kind of becoming diminished a little bit here and there? Like, I don't feel like there's genres anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, like, who is American Teeth? Like, are you pop? Are you rock? Are you, like, glam rock? What are you?
All of the above.
It's interesting to see, though, the genre is kind of diminishing a little bit.
Yeah, I think across the board, I think between indie music, rock music, hip hop, electronic, like everything is just really it's a singer-songwriter, really everything is just becoming this big blob of there's so many amazing songs out there now, and I think people are less concerned about wanting something to be like very down the middle of one lane or something like that.
Absolutely. No, and that's the thing. I think people are kind of over, they're over that. They're over the fact that there has to be one genre. And I think people just love to listen to music. And I think your music is kind of all over the place with streaming and everything. And one thing that American Teeth is really hitting stride with is these features and these collaborations with Twin XL and Dreamers. I mean, it's just amazing. Talk a little bit about how these collaborations come to be, Elijah, because I'm not sure the viewers maybe know. Like, is it just hey, you want to do a song? Like, how does it work? The labels sometimes get involved, I know, but how does it work, the process of these collabs?
Yeah. So these last two have been actually very organic and natural because with the Twin XL one, I've been writing for a year or so with Cameron, the singer for Twin XL. So we've already been writing together for a bit. And I wanted to have him in to write for American Teeth for a day. And while we were writing, this is kind of how it all came together. Is a lot of times we'll record demo vocals as we're going section by section.
Mm-hmm.
And when the section that he's on in the pre-chorus now, when that came up, we were like, oh, just go up and, sing it how you hear it. And so he went up and sang it. And both myself and Colin were just like, damn, maybe like that sounded so good, dude. Like maybe that if you want to feature, like that might actually be great to have your voice, stay on the record. And that's what ended up happening. He was down and we're friends and stuff. So it felt like a very natural thing to do. And I just think that that's my favorite way to collaborate and stuff anyways. It's just very real and kind of a genuine collaboration. And then with the Dreamers West Period collaboration, I've been friends with Dreamers for a while now, probably 4 years at this point. We had never done a track together, but we ended up having a writing session together. I think originally it was maybe going to be for Dreamers,
Mhm.
and we ended up having this concept. It was the day that Kobe died, so pretty much exactly a year ago from
Yes.
yesterday. Well, it was
Mhm.
exactly a year ago from yesterday. And Nick had just lost a best friend to suicide, which was really tough. And like, there was just no denying that if we were gonna sit and write a song that day, like this is what it was gonna be about. So since we realized we both have these very unique experiences with death, and I think everybody does,
Mhm.
we ended up kind of telling our own stories in each of our verses. And then um, later on, Wes came in and told his piece of the story as well. But we all kind of wanted it to collectively feel like some type of light at the end of the tunnel. So like you know, we wanted the aftertaste to feel hopeful, and so it's kind of like a song about gratitude, about being grateful for being alive. You know, when you experience losing someone, it's like hopefully that like at some point kind of can turn into like, okay, well, like I should really treasure my time here. So
What do you think is the process when you're emotionally drained from these really unfortunate circumstances when someone kind of passes away, so to speak? Is Do you find there's a lot of directors and writers that have gone on the record and said that after a tragedy they wrote something in regards to that pretty soon, pretty fresh when it happened. Is that safe to say that that happens a lot? That you can kind of go in when you're emotionally drained and write a song, or do you need to take some time away from that? Because that's the big question, right?
yeah, yeah, I think it depends on the situation, but I've found that often if I've got all of these emotions, when if I sit down and say I'm gonna do something, typically it just like spills out
Mm,
because it's right there at the
yeah,
top.
no, for sure.
I
Like it's a
haven't.
quick, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's right there at the top, so it's like, and then I'm just surprised. It's like I truly believe like when you're like really like you know in the zone, you're like connecting to a higher power source, and so I feel like when you are emotionally turbulent, it's a little bit easier, I think, to just naturally connect to that and just like it flows out.
Because you hear of many stories. A lot of some of my favorite shows and movies had a tragic backstory where someone was very close that was lost to the director or writer, and then you find out that it was fresh. The
Yeah,
tragedy was fresh when they wrote that material. So I found that really kind of that hits hard. You know what I mean?
definitely.
Which is no, it's crazy to see. And uh it hasn't been a difficult it's been a difficult year, man, with COVID-19. The only silver lining, I think, is the fact that a lot of people are listening to content, and a lot of people are, well, watching content and listening to music. And obviously the Spotify plays speak for itself for American Teeth. I mean, you have over 200,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. Has it hit you that that many people on a monthly basis are listening to your songs?
Just recently, yeah.
It's a lot
And
of
that's
people, man. That's like three
fucking rad.
stadiums.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's extremely amazing, man. I mean, and it's I'm so grateful.
Yeah. Is it Has it hit you also that they kind of, because Dreamers are getting those streams, American Teeth are getting those streams, 2NXL. It's that the collabs help everyone too. It's an
Oh
interesting
yeah.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, I was just talking to someone about that actually, where in this past year and even this year a bit, we're in this age of not being able to tour. So I've been saying it's like, you know, I want to do as many collaborations with people that I really fuck with and that I like. And because it's like you're opening on tour with them, or you're going on a tour with them, and you get to expose each other's fan bases,
Mhm.
to each other. You're kind of cross pollinating fan bases, and it's a great way for, I think, fans to discover new artists, and for just artists to collaborate and bring their sounds and their talents together in a really cool way.
Absolutely. I've been kind of letting. I've been making it a bit easy. I've been asking you easy questions. I'm gonna ask you kind of the harder question. It's not even that bad. I feel like I led that. It's not bad. It's
I'm like
just
ready, braced.
so. A lot of people listen to American Teeth. Elijah Knoll from American Teeth wants to be American Teeth. You want to make music that's important to yourself, that's out there, that's different. But there are comparisons to artists like Machine Gun Kelly, Mod Sun, Arrested Youth. There are those comparisons or like sounds like are out there. You know what I mean? That can kind of be a little bit of like a double-edged sword, right? Because it's cool to be kind of compared to these artists, but then there kind of comes a point where it's like, oh, do you want to be kind of bunched up like it's the same stuff? How do you kind of deal with that? See, a little bit of a tough question.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not bothered by the comparisons. I kind of take it as a compliment.
No, they're
because
great. I see it. I agree with you 100%.
yeah, I think what all those guys are doing are just really great, and they're like fully doing their thing to the best of their ability, and they're crushing it.
Mhm.
I think I've learned in life that you'll always be compared to other people, and that's just human nature. So, my goal is to continue to do my thing in the way that I will always do it unique in my own unique way.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful to be compared to people like MGK.
It's funny too because it always irritated me. Fall Out Boy is one of my favorite bands of all time, and
Yeah.
all those criticisms when they changed up their sound on Philly I Did and like, oh, they're mainstream, they're selling out, always irritated me because is that not the point of what you guys are trying to do? Like, aren't you trying to make a living, American Teeth, with your music? That's the point.
And reach as many people as possible, man. Like I want to reach the masses. I want my message and my sound and my art to reach as many people as possible.
Yeah,
I also
absolutely.
love writing pop music, whatever you would call that, because at this point it's so many different things. But I love like catchy music. I'm a fiend for it.
But like
So
the streams are just hitting insane these days. Like I don't know what it is. I know it's COVID. Like we don't have that much to do. We're listening to songs. But I just
yeah,
interviewed Tate McRae, who's on RCA Records. I mean, one of her songs has over 400 million streams. Like it's insane.
wow,
Yeah. No, it's just like.
that's so awesome.
Well, if we pull up your stuff, like your Twin XL. Like if we go to Spotify, I've been doing this recently because I find it very interesting. I mean, we pull up to
Yeah,
Spotify. I mean, there's 270,000 streams on Twin XL. It's kind of going up all the
mhm.
time. Too Late has almost like over 500,000. Like it's wild. You know what I mean? To think
It
about
really
that.
is.
It's way. I'm feeling the vibes. We're doing this segment right now. We're doing Dream Festival right now. COVID's done. We're having a festival. Okay, American Teeth is on this festival. We want to be realistic as well. We're gonna have 3 tiers of these festivals. American Teeth, I would say, is kind of on the second tier. So there's like the 2 opening acts, then the 3 middle tier. American Teeth with 2 others, and then we got 3 headliners. Who are we putting on this fest? Then we'll go back and forth. You'll bring up a band, and then I'll bring up a band, and we're being realistic. Like it would be cool for like Metallica, obviously, to be on this festival, but
Oh
like
yeah,
let's be realistic as well.
My Chemical Romance.
MCR is on this festival, 100%. We're putting Youngblood on this festival.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Youngblood's on this
he's
festival.
great.
Um, we are gonna put who else are we putting on this festival?
I'm putting Gene Dawson on because I'm a big fan. Do you know
Amazing. Yeah.
him?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't listen to him that much, but I know him. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Um,
Who else are we putting? I want to put Arrested Youth. I love his music.
yeah, I went on tour with Arrested Youth.
I love so good.
So
But
that's
what is that?
perfect.
Okay, what is that? Like, remember I said like MGK, Arrested Youth, Mod Sun,
Yeah.
Youngblood. What's that genre? Like, what are you guys? Are you just calling it like? Is it like new age glam rock? Like, is that what it is?
I don't know. I mean, like,
Like, did you
it's
hear
hard to
the collab like Estrella with Kenny Hoopla and Travis
yeah,
Barker?
yeah. Kenny Hoopla's
That
really
song's
dope.
so good.
I know. It's a resurgence of pop punk nostalgia, early 2000s pop punk nostalgia.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you would call that, but everyone is doing
working.
it in such a cool, unique way, I think, and I am happy to be a part of that and have my corner in that.
Are we putting
Yeah.
Kenny on the fest? I think we're putting him on the fest.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
Do you know who Glaive is?
yes,
He's dope.
yeah, and we're gonna put shout out. So it's funny because we're putting my boys in We Were Sharks, who are Revival Recordings, because I grew up with those guys. Those guys have been in a band for a long, long time, and they're killing it right now. And they're going to be on this fest. So that's a good fest. I'm excited for this festival.
Good lineup.
It is a good lineup. What are you hoping, and this might be a difficult question, when people listen to American Teeth, what are you hoping they get out of it? Obviously, you want them to listen to it over and over again. What else do you hope they get out of Elijah Knowles' American Teeth?
Euphoric nostalgia.
It's a good one.
That's the best. That's like the best combination of words. I feel like when I'm like sitting down, and what I want to feel like and what I want other people to feel like is euphoria, nostalgia. There's always like a sense of longing, I think, to my music.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've been making some. I was just telling someone else I had went in with my frequent collaborator, Colin Britton, who's a producer, and we would just had like a batch. We just made a batch of songs, and I was like in this very like hyped up, like excited, thinking about the future, thinking about live shows, and just made all these like kind of dancier, like upbeat, but like still like emo type stuff. And I think that is like, I'm just so excited to play that shit live, dude.
That's a thing too. I interviewed Ghost Kid, who's Sushi, who's an Eskimo cowboy from Germany. He has this new record out that's doing so well. And he's like, I haven't had a chance to play it. He's like, I left Eskimo Cowboy. I have this new record. He's like, I haven't had a chance to play it live. Because it's different like, for bands like August Burns Red, right? Where like they have a new record out, but like they've still toured and everything. Like think about this guy. He makes his own band.
Yeah,
He's been able to tour.
Yeah, I think about all the people, which is the majority of my new fans who have never seen me live. You know, there's a select few that got to see me on the Dreamers tour back in fall of 2019. Mm-hmm. But you know, that was a pretty short run too. So it's like a lot of the fans I've gained since then still have never seen me live. I've posted little clips of me live, but like I'm just so ready for people to see what the live show is like, because that is my favorite part of this whole thing. Like I love to record and write, but performing and entertaining is like my lifeblood. That shit like is like a drug to me. So I can't wait to do that again.
It's funny though. The only thing is, and I talk to a lot of, you know, people that are on TV shows and movies about this. The junkets, like the press is all like this. It's all virtual, right? Usually there's like the red carpet events and the actual junkets where they have the banner in the background and they show up and everything. Yeah. A lot of people miss the actual interactions with people, and I get that 100%. I don't think shows are going to be affected. I feel like when everyone's allowed to, shows are going to be packed. Like it's exactly. But you have to think about how much money is being saved off these virtual junkets, though, and these virtual interviews. I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
not a bad point.
So I don't think they're gonna leave. I think these interviews are gonna be the new norm in some capacity.
I support that, honestly.
Yeah,
that's like kind of less time spent flying back and forth just for interviews or just for a quick
people
thing.
Are gonna realize, even in not even entertainment, like people that like had to go across town for a meeting and then come back, they're gonna notice that like how like pointless that was.
Yeah, what am I doing sitting in the car for fucking 2 hours? Like I can just literally log on and we can do the same shit like this. You know, I don't like, you can do that for this type of stuff with like performing and with like even with songwriting. Like I've been doing plenty of like online Zoom sessions and have had some success with it, but it's not nearly the same.
No way. And you look at the pop culture explosion over the quarantine, like all the shows being binged. You can't tell me like conventions aren't going to be packed when we're allowed to, and people get vaccinated and go back. Like, it's going to be packed.
Dude, it's going to be the roaring 20s.
I'm telling you, it's going to be like shows are going to be packed. Like the amount of shows are gonna shows are gonna sell out when we're allowed to very quick. I guarantee you.
Bro, you are getting me emotional, bro. I'm like, like, let's go.
No, it's really cool. Elijah, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. I really enjoyed chatting with you.
Thanks for having me, man.
So I mean, people can listen to the tracks that are out now. You know, you have that single with Dreamers, you have that single with Twin XL. There is a record coming out, I believe.
There is. Yep. We're it's looking like this summer, so
I can't wait for that.
gonna be crazy.
People can follow you on social media.
Social media, just type in American Teeth on any social media. It should pop right up.
Mm-hmm.
My handles are like all a little weird because there's a lot of dentists and shit out there that took the OG one, and no one will buy them back from me. So whatever. But if you just type that in a search engine, you'll find everything.
And you're gonna plug something else, right?
Yeah, I wanna plug
Plug it
because
in.
I have one live show that is booked. For October 2021, so this year in October in Sacramento, I'm playing Aftershock Festival on Saturday. If you're in the California area, it's gonna be outdoors. It's gonna be my first festival as American Teeth, and actually, it's funny we brought up MGK and My Chem because
Are they on
both
it?
of them are headlining.
That's
the
why
day
you
that
said MCR to the Dream Fest. It's not even a dream; it's a reality. What are you doing?
I mean, it's too perfect.
I think I'm Not Okay has one of the best guitar parts of all time. If you know what I'm
Dude.
talking about, it's one of the best
Yeah.
things. And like the live videos of them doing it live, it's just even better. Like it's not, like, I love that band. That band's a live band.
And Jared Way is just such a fucking brilliant dude. And I'm just like, he's
People don't realize like he created the Umbrella Academy.
yeah. I'm very inspired by him.
No, it's amazing. Well, seriously, thank you so much. We're excited to just keep seeing American Teeth just continue, man. It's a wave. You're riding it. Enjoy the wave, brother.
Thank you. I will.
No
I'll
problem.
be surfing.
Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative. For previous episodes, be sure to listen to American Teeth wherever you listen to music, Spotify, Apple Music. He's going to be there. Until next time, this is Elijah Knoll, a.k.a. American Teeth, and Petey Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.